Welcome to our preview of the North Melbourne Football Club. Dire scenes at Arden Street last year and the year before, to be frankly honest. Only 2 wins in 2022 for the Kangaroos, but there's hope, Tom. Alistair Clarkson, a couple of new players come to the club. Darcy Tucker from Fremantle, Griffin Logue, Liam Shields, Daniel Howe, obviously some of Alistair Clarkson's favourites at Hawthorn. But what can we expect from the Kangaroos in 2023, Tom?
Karl, I really hope for North fans' sake that they can win more than 2 games and perhaps avoid a three-peat of the wooden spoon. That'd be a start. But certainly I think we can expect an improvement from young players. Will Phillips, Tom Powell, Charlie Comben, these sorts of guys who will be entering their sort of second and third years. I think sort of with an uptake in form from them, I think that they'll bring about some improvement, I think.
Well, you talk about those young players and then potentially some experience in terms of the players that Alistair Clarkson has brought over from Hawthorn. You've got Liam Shields and Daniel Howe, who's actually still relatively young, but has had a fair bit of AFL experience. And then you look over to the west and Alistair Clarkson brought over Darcy Tucker and Griffin Logue, who was obviously an early first-round draft pick. So, yeah, I don't think it's all dire in terms of North Melbourne, but I'm keen to hear from you. Who do you think will have a breakout year for the Kangaroos?
Yeah, so one player, Karl, who probably won't be familiar with many fans who aren't North supporters is Charlie Comben. He's a 199 centimetre athletic key forward, and I really think this season he's had a full pre-season under his belt. He's played 2 career games, but has been plagued by stress fractures and the like, and I really think this season he's due to partner Nick Larkey in the forward line, and I think they'll form a really solid combination for the future down there.
Yeah, I think that's a great call, Tom, and obviously those young tall forwards need a little bit of time, and I think Nick Larkey, as tall forwards go in the competition, is probably a little bit underrated. He's consistently kicked over 40 goals the last couple of seasons, so looking forward to them consistently getting onto the park. But best and fairest, Smokey, I mean, Tom, I probably would have said Jason Horne-Francis, but he's no longer at the football club. You've gone with Ben McKay.
Yeah, the less said about JHF, the better, Karl. But I think Ben McKay, yeah, I really rate Ben McKay as a key defender. Again, due to playing for North Melbourne, he probably flies under the radar a little bit from analysts and the like. But I think he, pairing with Griffin Logue this season, they'll form a really good 1-2 combination in the back line. And I think McKay will be allowed to play a bit more of a intercepting role this season under Clarkson, and Griffin Logue will probably sort of be the full back of the team, taking the big sort of guerrilla full forwards. That might allow McKay to sort of float off and intercept, and he was in the top 20 league-wide for contested marks in 2022, so that shows that he does have that capacity, and yeah, I think he'll be in for a big 2023.
Yeah, I think that's a great call, Tom. Looking at Ben McKay, certainly his brother Harry is having lots of success individually at Carlton. So yeah, hopefully Ben McKay can do the same for North Melbourne. An interesting team, as we said, they've only won 2 games last year. Betting strategies, is there anything you're looking at, Tom?
There are 2 bets, Karl, that I've found for North Melbourne in 2023. The first of which will probably surprise a few people, but I think North currently they're favourites in the least season wins market, and I think that actually represents poor value. I think with the addition of Clarkson and a few more experienced other coaches and Griffin Logue, Tucker, etc., some good young players. Harry Sheasel was a pick 2, George Wardlaw a pick 3. I think we can expect an upturn in wins, more than 2. And I think laying them at $2.76, which they currently are in the least season wins market, is a good play. And the second of which will be to back Harry Sheasel in the Rising Star. I think he's currently around that $13 quote, and I think he'll play most games this year in the forward line with the uncertainty surrounding Taron Thomas's availability, and yeah, I think he's in for a big year. He played well in the practice match, and I think Clarkson really likes him, so he'll be my bet for the rising star for North.
So if you like history out there, the history says that no team has ever won the Wooden Spoon 3 years in a row. Currently, you can lay North Melbourne least season wins at 276, which does present some value given that information and the insight that Tom brings, something that we'll definitely be watching throughout the season. Jason Horne-Francis, I mean, I don't want to finish the interview negatively, but do you think he's going to be firing at Port Adelaide?
Yeah, not sure, to be honest, Karl. He didn't quite fit the mould of a traditional shin boner. North like players who, really buy in and have a crack. And perhaps at times last season, Horne-Francis didn't really bring those qualities and clashed with teammates and coaches. So I think certainly be interesting to see how he goes at Port. But more throwing of the arms and abusing of the umpires. It'll be interesting to see. So.
Well, that's certainly a match I'm going to be penciling in. Port Adelaide versus North Melbourne. Looking forward to that one. Well, that's all we've got time for this season preview. Just head to the Betfair Hub for the latest season previews for every team in the competition for season 2023.
Gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-858-858.